start our third session, like third CPD session on claims. So before we start, I would like to express sincere thanks from QServe. It's really our pleasure to have you over here, and continuously you guys are showing your interest to learn and move forward. It's really appreciated. And those who don't know me, my name is Midun Suvarnan, and I'm a co-founder of QServe Consult. So in QServe Consult, in this, especially for this WhatsApp group, uh, we used to prepare sessions and deliver sessions to the candidates. Last two sessions we did on a session on variations and PS items, and this CPD or this training session is purely for claims, and that's purely depends on, like, we had put a poll in the WhatsApp group, and many people, like, voted towards this claims. I mean, so we decided to go for the session claims. And so what our plan is, basically we're going to touch base the each and every perspective of claim. It's like not like claims is really a vast subject, and we can't do it in a one session. So what we decided, we split into different parts. They call it part 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, whatever. And in each part, like, you might know, if you have you are someone who already attended our session, you might know, like, we go in very detail, like we go comprehensive basis. We go to the concept, we make you understand that, and then we move forward. That was our style of teaching, actually. So same for the claims also, we have designed this session in such way only. Okay, so if I talk you in a high level, there are many quantity surveys and senior quantity surveys who are very very good in payment application, payment certificate, variation, everything. But when it come to claims, I don't know why. The reason is, like, they are concerned, they're worried about claims. Especially when I'm someone who used to take a lot of interviews for consultants and others. So when I'm start asking question from claims, they tend to shatter, or they tend to get nervous, or they have a dilemma to answer what the answers. If you ask a question from contracts, they're very strong. If you ask a question from cost management, they're very strong. But when it come to claims, and when you start asking question from claims, I don't know, some strange reasons, people are not very well versed in claims. And this session, we prepare such a way that by end of the parts, let's call parts 10 or whatever, by that part, you will be so strong in claims, and you will know the basics to the advanced level of claims. Okay, so not wasting much of your time explaining this background, we'll go directly to the claims and things. Okay, before I go to the claims, can I ask you one quick question? So when I say a word claim, what is coming to your mind? Like claim or a claims. Normally when you hear a word, something will flash in your brain. So when I say a word called claims, what is flashing through your mind? Just can somebody tell me, like, you can turn on your mic and tell me, like, what exactly coming to your mind when you heard the word claims? Please. Let us make it an interactive session, please. So, you can ask questions, I can clear the questions, and your participation will be very valued. So, when I say word claim, what is coming to your mind?
It depends on my situation, consultant or contractor. If I am consultant, I will the first thing will come at my mind is the notice. If I am a contractor, I will also think about the notice at the first thing.
Okay, thank you. Others, claims, what is coming to your mind? No answers?
Hi, sir.
Yep.
Uh, we can say that claims are the request from the contractor to
Mm-hmm.
compensate in terms of time and cost for the regions for which the contractor is not responsible.
Okay. Yep. So that is something coming to your mind when I say claims. So claim is a request or a demand made by one party to another party. So first thing, it's not just the contractor. There is two type of claims. Contractor can make claim, same time employer also can make claim. So a claim is a request or a demand made by one party to another party for an entitlement to time, money, or other relief under the terms of the contract. So if you think it's just an EOT, no, that's not correct. If you think it's just additional money, that's not correct. It's include. It could be time, it could be money, it could be any other relief like discharge of contract. So it's a demand made by one party to other party. It could be a contractor, it could be a client also. If you are familiar with the FIDIC Red Book 1999, clause number 2 talks about employer. In that, you can see employers claim under 2.5. Similarly, in clause 20, 20.1 is talking about contractors claim. So that means even a standard form of contract talk about two types of claim. So if you are a contractor, consultant or a client, always keep in mind it's bilateral actually. It's not one party going to demand. It's always two parties. If I'm a client, I can demand. If you are a contractor, you can demand. Depends on the situations and reasons. It's not just for time. It's not just for money. It's more than that. You can demand for time. You can demand for money. And same time, you can demand for other relief under the contract also. So EOT, something you demanding for the time. Damages or a disruption claim or ideal cost claim is something you demanding for the money or something if the contracts beyond the control of a party, be it a contractor, be it a consultant, or be it a client, beyond control of parties, if you're not able to perform something under the contract, then you can ask for relief also. That also fall under the claims. So for RICS purpose or for the your interview purpose, we had to know this definition. A claim is a request or a demand made by one party to another party for an entitlement to a time, money, or other relief. So always be clear about this definition. Okay? It's money, time, or any other definition. So that's about claim. So in a contract, you can have different type of claims. Employer can claim, contractor can claim, third party can claim, government can claim, police can claim, anyone can claim. Supplier can claim, subcontractor can claim, many claims. So how we will go or how we going to distinguish these claims or how we going to differentiate these claims? If you want to differentiate the claims, you should know the types of claim. So, first we will look into types of claim. Mainly, you can call claims into four types. One is contractual claims, the other one is non-contractual claims, and there is some called ex gratia claims, and there is something called quantum merit claims. These are the major claims you could come across in a construction industry. Having said, we are predominantly working in construction. There are some other claims if you look into insurance and product category, like warranty claims, liability claims. That's all fall under outside our remit. Maybe I would say in that way. It's in construction. It is there, but again, under our remit, what is coming is predominantly these four claims. That is contractual claims, non-contractual claims, ex gratia claims, and there is something called quantum merit claims. If you look into SCL protocol, that is the protocol which eventually help us to prepare EOT claims. Just like FIDIC is for the general form of the contract. Similarly, for EOT and claims, there is a protocol called SCL protocol. So they said there is one more claim over and above this four, which called as a global claim. But if you ask me, if you are a consultant or a client, please don't encourage such claims because there is really a huge chance you may ending up paying more money. Maybe you will save some time in terms of reviewing multiple documents or going deep into multiple documents, but rest it will be ending up paying some extra amount of money more than that could have paid or that's supposed to paid. Okay, forgot about that. Let us look into our first category, contractual claims. So any claims that fall under the terms and condition of the contract, because we have a contract before start the work, we sign the contract, and in a contract we will have general condition, we will be having particular condition, we will be having specification, we will have drawings, we will have BOQ, many items. So if there are a claim that fall under the terms and condition of the contract, that is called contractual claims. It could be an EOT claim, it could be disruption claim, it could be loss and expense claim. But all these claims are fall under the contractual provisions because if these claims are arises, we have a provision under the contract. For example, employer failed to issue the drawing. There is a provision for EOT. Employer failed to issue the right of way. You have a provision for EOT. Employer suspend the work. You have a provision for EOT and cost. There is a changing site condition. There is a provision for EOT and cost. Similarly, so for these kind of category or this kind of default or these kind of breaches, there is a provision in the contract. That means if you open the contract, so there is a breach by one party. If you open the contract, there is a provision. You don't need to go out of the contract. You sign a contract before you start the work, and in that contract, there is a provision for the items. That is called contractual claims. Guys, now I'm explaining the basics only. We're going to go in detail on all these type of claims. Maybe not in non-contractual claims, that is purely litigation and things, but other contractual ex gratia and quantum we will be explaining in detail. Particularly the contractual claim we will go in detail. Today in this session we're going to give you heads up about the type of claim. So that's contractual claim which has a provision in the contract. So if I give you some examples, that could be an EOT, that could be a deception, loss on expenses, delay claim, all are fall under the contractual claims. So there is something called non-contractual claims. Claims not based on the contract. So these claims are purely outside the provision of the contract. So if something happened and there is no provision in the contract for that, that's called non-contractual claim. For example, criminal issues, civil issues, tort, all these are example for non-contractual claim. Okay, I'll give an example if I could you like a tort. Tort is known as a civil wrong actually. It's not a criminal offense, but it's known as a civil wrong. It is classified into mainly three types: intentional tort, negligence tort, and strict liability tort in a main category. Okay, I will tell you what exactly it is. And if you observed any tort in your contract, you don't have any provision in the contract to mitigate that or to address that tort. You have to go away from your contract, or you have to go to litigation, or whatever the mechanism is there. I will give an example. Okay, there is a there is a supervisor. Okay, so he intentionally locked his workers. So workers were sitting in a room, the supervisor locked him, locked all of them. It's happened within the site. Okay, so do you think, do you have any permission to cover those kind of losses or those kind of claims? It's going to be a claim for sure. It's a big issue. In a legal term, it's called false imprisonment. Okay, so what, how are you going to handle that? Or else, okay, your labors trespassing into neighbor land. There is a two sites nearby, and your labor is supposed to work in your premises, but these people went to other side. He trespassed to other side. That all's coming under tort. There could be chances it will be coming. Okay, that's why I mentioned initially, it's not just time or cost. There is something called relax or discharge also. Okay, another example, a consultant working with you. He deliberately makes some mistakes, or he prepares some false report, so that your reputation is damaged now completely as a client. This issue also, you don't have any provision in the contract to manage that. You have to go out of the contract and treat separately. Like you may need to go to the police, you may need to go to the law of the land, civil code, those provisions only. So this kind of issues, I'm sure this kind of issues are not uncommon. This happens for sure. Like there will be workers fighting, or somebody logs, you trespass to third party, or you damage third party land, you damage third party property, maybe they prepare false report. These all happen, these all will happen also. Such claims all fall under non contractual claims. Okay, I was mentioning tort is mainly classified into three types. One is intentional, other is negligent, and third is strict liability. You don't need to worry about those terms of tort. It purely legal terms only. But just for your understanding, what all thing will come under the provision of tort. Okay. So these issues came. What would you do? You have to approach the police, maybe, or maybe you are blocking somebody's right of way, a third party's right of way. What you can do? Or else your dust or noise or vibration making issue to a third party. What is it will come? If the third party go for a police case, how are you going to manage that? Okay, so these kind of issues if arise, that will be fall under non-contractual claim. Guys, please very careful. If you are someone who's handling the contract, you will be come across contractual claim. You will be coming across non-contractual claims also. So EOT, reception, loss expenses, fine, there you have a provision. But other than that, if such issues come, how are you going to handle that? Okay, so these issues, whichever explained as civil or tort issues, are called non-contractual claim. I can give you one more example. A contractor uses a substandard material because you approved a material. You are a consultant. He submit a material submittal. That's the normally happen, right? A contractor, before he start the work, what he do is like he prepare a material submittal. He submit before consultant for approval. So as a consultant, you approve the material also. But what he did some fraudulent activity. He got approval for a material, but he deliberately brings some other low cost material, and that caused a big accident. How are you going to deal that? So you approve something, you trust him. He said, yes, I'm okay with material, you can proceed. But this contractor, he go for a fraudulent activity, he gets some low cost material from other country, he put some painting or something, he present in front of you like a specified material, and he installed it, but after some time it collapsed and many people got injured or some people even got killed also. This will not fall under civil. Now it's a criminal offense. Somebody got injured, body injury, or somebody got killed. These all issues also will come across. And this all issue will come under the criminal offenses. These also called as a non-contractual claim. Okay, so these are the example for the non-contractual claim. Any claims that is not based out of your contract or you don't have a provision in the contract is called non-contractual claim. Now let us go to ex gratia claims. So ex gratia claims is more known as a claim made as a gesture of goodwill or out of sympathy. If I give you example, you will be able to understand in detail. So a contractor step into you are a client and a contractor start working for you. Okay. And so some reason, some mistake, he submit a very low cost bid. Okay. Just keep in your mind, he made a estimation error. He made a estimation error and he made a huge mistake and he submitted a low cost bid. You awarded a low cost bid and during the execution he come to know that he will not be able to complete the work as per the contract price because he made a huge mistake. Now he will be ending up paying really big amount of money. So he is approaching you, but he's not stopped the work. Okay, he's a really good contractor. He takes the responsibility, and he said, "Yes, it's my mistake. I don't want to blame others. However, I signed the contract. I'm going to do the work for the client because he don't want to blame others and he don't want him to move away or something." He said, "I'm going to work for you." However, he requested, "Dear client, I made really a huge mistake, and because I forgot to measure some items, or I low price some specification, or I missed to consider some risk, and it's creating a huge burden for me. If you say 50 million is the value award price, but I'm going to pay around 65 million, around 50 million I'm going to lose." So you are a client, you know that you will be having a budget initially. So maybe your budget will be 60 something, but when this guy came with a 50 million offer, you awarded straight away. You didn't think you didn't think twice. Okay, so your budget was it was not, it was 60 million, and this contractor, because of some technical issue or errors or mistakes, he submitted a bid of 50 million. You are very happy as a client because 60 million was your budget. Now you getting 50 million. You're very happy. You award the contract to him. Now he coming to you and requesting, "Dear contractor, sorry, dear client, if you could," he's not demanding, by the way, he's not demanding, he's requesting, "Dear client, if you could please look into it, because at least that would help us to reduce the burden of loss. Anyway, it's going to loss only. We are not going to make any profit out of it. But at least if you consider paying me some amount, it will be help us to, reduce the loss, and we will be very grateful to you." That will be the method usually the contractor will approach to you. So what you will do as a client, definitely you look into your budget. Okay, look in your budget, you see that okay, 60 million was the budget and he submit 50 million. All other contractors submit around 60 million or 65 million or 59 million. Okay, that means he made some mistake for sure. That means 50 million was never be the value because 60 million is your budget or PTE, and all other contractors are within that range. So now what do you do? Now the contractor is not moved away. He still, even though there is a mistake, he decided to continue with you. That's really a good gesture. So then maybe as a good client, you will decide in internally and decide yes, he is suffering really a good loss. And even if we pay 5 million, we still in a good position because 60 million was our budget. He's asking for a few million. Even if we pay 5 million, he will that will be a helping hand for him. And in return, in future you really going to get some good benefit out of it because people remember this kind of gratitudes. Okay, so that in that claim is called, or claims of that nature is called ex gratia claims. That means a claim made as a gesture of goodwill, which is often contractually there's no right. Okay, contractually he cannot claim at all, but however, for a sympathy basis, on a goodwill basis, as a client you're agreeing to pay him some amount. That is called ex gratia claims. It always happen in a client side. Okay, sometimes they will suffer some EOT, or sometimes they have to bring some material new specification, or sometimes specification material price shoot up significantly. Significantly means significantly shoot up sometimes, and there is no provision of escalation in the contract. So what they normally do, they prepare a detailed workout. This is what the material price when I'm pricing, and what maximum I expected a 20 percentage rise in prices, but now it go to some 60 percentage material price increase, which beyond my anticipation. So I would really appreciate if you could consider paying me some amount. Client will think, if you're not paying, he may fail. If he fail, as a client you're going to get impacted because your project is your matter. You have to sell the project out. Okay, so you maybe decide to pay them some amount. So that kind of claim is called ex gratia claims. Okay, now next is quantum merit claim. So if you look at the definition, it states claims for payment based on the value of the work or service provided. Typically, when there is no formal contract. I repeat, when there is no formal contract. So now let us read claim for payment based on the value of work or services provided. That means they did some work and now you're going to pay them. But the catch is there is no formal contract. There is no formal contract. So maybe sometimes what happened, like consultants. You call consultants, okay guys, there is a work for us, please do this work. Mainly for course consultant, okay. You send some because that consultant will be working with you for years and years. Just say a consultant, he has been working with you for many projects. So what you do, you send, dear consultant, this is the drawing specification, please prepare a PTE or a cost plan. Okay, you're just sending and telling me to prepare a cost plan or prepare a BOQ. And this consultant, a client is telling to prepare the BOQ or a PT or cost plan, whatever you call. And he will not tell you, no, I cannot start now. You send me the contract, then I can start. No, he won't, because he want to keep the client. He want to make client happy, for sure. Client care is the top priority for him. So what he do? He will straight away, soon he receive the drawing specification, he start working on it because you are a good client, and he has been working with you for quite long. So he don't doubt also. So he start working on it. He start work like weeks and weeks, months and months. So suddenly you decided, or your top management decided not to start the project. So, or in other way, I would say the project is on hold. But the poor consultant start the work already. He start preparing BOQ, or he already prepared the BOQ. So now how are you going to pay him? So if you want to pay him, There is no contract. If you have a contract, you can there will be payment term will be there. Based on that, you can pay. Now, how you can pay? So this kind of payment is called quantum merit claims. Quantum merit means paying for the work, exact work what he has done. Why exact work he has done? Why not profit and others? Because ideally, what would happen? Ideal cases is that the consultant will prepare a BOQ. You will send the BOQ to the contractor. He will praise it. He start the work. Now the project is on hold. You are not going to use this BOQ anymore. Or let me put another example. Same, but in a different scenario. So you send a drawing specification to the consultant and told him to prepare a BOQ or say tender documents. He prepared tender documents and suddenly you decided to cease the contract or cease the project completely. He said, no, I am not going to construct this project because your chairman doesn't want to start construction or your chairman want to do some other type of construction. It was residential initially, but your chairman want to convert into a commercial buildings. But again, now the consultant has to start again. Okay, or you are telling to him, dear consultant, sorry, I'm going to change into commercial building. Sorry, it was a residential building. Now I'm going to change into commercial building. However, I'm not starting now. It will take minimum 6 months. But this poor consultant, he allocated his resources, his quantity surveys, his cost managers, work day and now night and prepare the BOQ, PT, everything. Okay. So, but in other hand, as a client, this document is useless actually. You're not going to use at all because you change the strategy to residential building into commercial building and you're going to start this like after 1 year only. So this document is waste for you. However, the other party spends some time on it and there is no formal contract. In this kind of scenario, you will pay based on quantum merit claims or the claim is called quantum merit claims. So whatever the work exactly they did, that will be compensated. For example, what you do, you will ask them to submit the timesheet. So they will say this many quantity surveys work for this many months, and this is the salary. Keep in mind, you will not be paying the OSP profit and all. You pay exactly the cost, how much they incurred, maybe a small profit sometimes on a goodwill basis sometimes, but most the cases like you will say, dear consultant, you know us, you are with us for quite long, and this documents whatever you prepared is useless for me. I know it's my mistake. Again, we are not going to use it. So in a good faith and fair deal, I can pay you the cost what you incurred. I know you paid salary to your employees, and so that amount let us pay you, and but not profit and OSP something like that. So this kind of claim is called quantum merit claims. Okay, so mainly four types of claim: contractual claim, non-contractual claim, ex gratia claim, quantum merit claim. So if as a quantity surveys, commercial managers and contracts managers, for us the most important item is contractual claims. So obviously we go into deep dive into contractual claims first. Okay, for sure I'm going to touch base or going to explain about other type also I mean when I say detail, I'm going to give you some lights on that, how do you go to deal that things for sure. But again, our important is contractual claims. Now let us look into types of contractual claims. So guys, we learn about the claims, the definition of claims, type of claims, and in that now I'm going to explain about the type of contractual claims. So mainly it classified into four types: loss and expenses, delay claims, acceleration claims, and disruption. Correct me if I miss something other than this, you can add me for sure. But if I take in a general view, these are the main four claims that you would come across in your project post contract stage: loss and expenses, delay, acceleration, and disruption. We have to go in detail for sure, but that's coming in upcoming slides. But before we go into detail, let's see what exactly is. Okay, the first is loss and expenses. The claims for compensation due to additional cost incurred as a result of delay or other unforeseen circumstances during the project. It's a big term actually, or this is a high level term called loss and expenses. That means a contractor, he incurred a loss, same time he incurred additional expense also. It could be due to a delay, it could be due to any portion in the contract, it could be due to any issue of default of the client or consultant, or it could be a default due to a third party, or any other circumstances which is not defined or expressed in the contract. So that means as a contractor, you incurred additional cost. You suffered a loss also. That's called loss and expenses claim. For example, there's a permitting issue. If there's a permitting issue, the contractor is not able to complete the work. Now you would tell me like no problem, there's an EOT. There is an EOT for sure, I agree. But what about the equipment, the ideal charge for the equipments? They're ideal there. How do you going to compensate? Because unless you made a progress, you're not getting paid for that. Similarly, contractor supposed to go out of the project in 3 months, but because of some reason, it's been drastically increasing. So he going to suffer losses on that stage also. Okay, and next item is delay. It's I'm sure you all aware of delay claims, prolongation cost. Because of delay, there is an EOT issued, and the EOT, a time is cost for sure. Against the EOT, the contractor going to submit the prolongation cost. So because of delay, there is going to be a claim. That's called delay claims. So loss and expenses and delay claims. Now there is something called acceleration claims. The claims arising when a party is required to speed up the work. It doesn't say contractor, it doesn't say employer, it says a party. Okay, a party is required to speed up the work. That is called acceleration. For if I give an example, so there is a delay from the contractor. Okay, a delay from the contractor. So if delay from contractor, he will not be able to complete the work as per the time of completion. That means if he is not able to complete the work as per time of completion, the consultant or client going to impose LD on him from the date of completion. The what he do? There is a mistake from his side, and there is sure the client going to put LD on him. So to block that LD or to cover that LD, what he do? He will do a constructive acceleration. That means he will increase the labors, he will increase the resources, he will buy more material, he will start day shift, night shift, he will bring no engineers. He speed up the work day and night so that he can complete the work on time. That's called acceleration. That's called acceleration by the contractor. Again, what if what if there is a delay from the employer, and however there is a delay from the employer, that means there is a sure EOT. He will get a sure EOT if there is a delay from the employer, but he don't want to issue EOT. So he told the contractor, dear contractor, I don't want to issue EOT, but I want you to increase your resources and I'm ready to pay that money. You increase the labors, you increase the plant equipment, you increase the shift, you increase the engineers, but I can pay you that money For definitely, when you increase the resources, you're going to get pay more, or you will be ending up paying more money. That is called an instructive acceleration. In first case, contractor himself accelerating because he is worried. If I'm not completing, the client will impose LD on me. In second cases is that the client is instructing because he don't want to issue an EOT, because maybe he agreed to his customers. Maybe if it's a residential building, he agreed that I will be handing over the project by end of January. So he don't want to issue any EOT, because if not, the customer will go litigation, or customer will not be happy. That will spoil his reputation in many cases. So he said, somehow, dear contractor, you do whatever you want to do, but I want this work to be finished by January. I don't want any delay that. That is called an acceleration by the client. Next, the fourth type is called disruption. A claim for compensation arising from disruption to the normal flow of work, such as changes in schedule, sequences, or resources which impact the project progress. So, any reason from the employer or a consultant that is impacting your progress, that is called a disruption claim. Okay, for example, you are a contractor, you're constructing a high rise building, typical high rise building. Okay, so normally in 1 week you will finish one floor completely. That's the normal, as per the baseline program. That's what you are assumed or planned. So 1 week is enough for you to complete the full one floor. But because of some reason, maybe the employer is not giving you power provision. Just assume, as per contract, he is supposed to give you the power provision. Now, the employer failed to give you the power provision. Because of that, you are not able to complete the work in 1 week. Or there is a delay in power provision. He is giving power provision, but power going on, off, or so your progress is completely disturbed. Your progress is completely disturbed. That kind of issue. This, of course, you plan for 1 week. There is a delay because of the power provision, not proper power provision. You took 1.5 week to complete the work, which you don't get EOT for sure. Okay, you don't get EOT, but same time you suffered a delay or in progress. This kind of claims is called disruption claim. Why disruption claim? Because to cover that delay, you need to increase the resources or something, whatever you call. Maybe in basement, you're working in a basement. Okay, in the basement there is sudden water ingress. If you are a MEP contractor, okay, you're a MEP contractor, you're working in a basement, suddenly there's a water ingress. Water is leaking completely, which is supposed to be main contractor's responsibility. You are a MEP contractor. Now your work completely disturbed. Okay, your laborers came, your engineers came, everybody is there site, but you can't work because you completely water. How can you go and work? This is also example for disruption claim. Okay, so these are the major claims that you would come across in a construction industry mainly. So guys, if in your interview somebody asks about the claims, tell me type of claims. Tell me what are the claims you come across. Explain me delay claims. Explain me what is acceleration. Explain me disruption. At least now you know what is that concept. Don't worry. We will be going in detail. That's upcoming sessions. But now at least you know the types and the concept about those claims. So when you hear the notices, all those things are the process of claims. Now let us understand what is claims. Then we will move to the process of claims, how you submit EOT, how you do delay analysis, how you do measured miles. All we will do or we will study in upcoming sessions. Okay, so Now just keep in your mind, if you go for an interview, a question from claim. Now at least you know when you ask from a question from claim, you need to explain the first type of claims. Tell him this is the contractual, non-contractual, blah blah blah. Then you go to the types of claim. You can say in contractual claim mainly these four types only. Then you can explain what is delay claim, what is person express claim, what is this special claim one by one. Okay, we will be going. So before I go to next sessions, if you have any doubt, please ask me now. I'm happy to explain. Because next session, I'm going to explain about the loss and expense claim and delay claims. A separate session for that, okay? So I'm not doing it today, most probably next section only. So if you have any doubt, please you can ask me now. I'm stopping presenting. Yes, guys, you can type also, you can ask also. Guys, if you don't have any doubt, you are free to drop off. But I will be staying here. Okay.
Sir,
Yep. Happy Sharma. Good evening.
uh, sir, question is about if there is a delay which beyond the is not attributable to employer or contractor,
Okay.
which it is like act of God,
Mm.
very heavy rain,
Mm.
or like faced a situation like COVID.
Mm.
So in that condition, uh, uh, the claim will for only time only, or it will be compensable also.
So first thing, like you are looking to the contract. Under your contract, this kind of say act of God or such any issues, say war, pollution, politics, riot, whatever issue which is beyond your control. What is a, there will be provision in the contract for sure. They would say, in this scenario, you will get only EOT or EOT plus claim. But most the case, this kind of issues are beyond your control and beyond his control. If you're a contractor or a client, these are beyond your control and his control. That means beyond the control of the parties. In these cases, you will be getting EOT or some cases EOT plus cost, but not profit.
What could be the scenario, sir, when contractor
Sorry.
also? What would be the scenario if a contractor can get some money also
Yeah,
in
we
this?
will be going detail in that items in next session, happy. Because delay claims is something which we go into touch base. So in that session, I'll be explaining all the clauses in the contract which will entitle you for the time, which will entitle you time and cost, everything I'll be explaining. Purely from FIDIC only. We refer to FIDIC 99 and we'll explain from the first like employer delay of the drawings, from that close to close say 16, 17, 18, 19, we will explain all the reasons like why. Okay.
Okay. And sir, recently I encountered with ex gratia claim actually.
Okay.
So it's actually good example. I would like to share. Uh, During the tender, the contractor quoted. Actually, this was the item of the cladding work for lift
Hmm.
fascia.
Okay.
So the when we circulated the BOQ with the tenderers, so
Mm-hmm.
we put the unit of measurement as numbers,
Mm-hmm.
and now the work is being executed. Now we got to know that we got a claim actually from the contractor, and when we asked about the justification, why are you claiming a new item with
Hmm.
the same specification? What he told is that at the time of the tender submission, I misinterpret, or I did not see that unit of measurement is number, as it was a stone item, cladding
Hmm.
item. So generally it should be in the square meter. So I thought that it is in square meter. So I put the rate in the square meter only. So
Okay.
when we checked the rate, genuinely it is quoted in square meter only.
Ah, okay. Okay.
Because the rate whatever is mentioned in the pricing document,
Hmm.
it is in thousands only, and that should be in lakhs actually, if we
Ah,
are going
okay.
in numbers.
Okay. So that's like you're just showing a goodwill to him. Like he made an issue. He made a mistake for sure, and he going to suffer also. But again, sometimes what happened, if you look into the tenders, okay, if you pay him this ex gratia claim, you are not getting benefit out of it, because if you pay 2 more million, he will not be L1 anymore. You issue the contract to him because he is the lowest bidder, right?
Correct.
But when you pay this ex gratia claim, he maybe become L2 or L3. In that case, you don't need to pay them. In two issues. First issue, you are suffering a loss. A second issue for auditing purpose also. Because if a third party auditor came and asked you, he would ask you why you are paying him extra money. Now your ended tender is useless.
Correct.
You decided L1 to him and now you paid ex gratia. Now he's L3. So your entire tendering process is a waste. And that will be a big observation also in auditing. So this two perspective you have to look into it. Okay.
Okay. But sir, genuinely, it is very clear from the rate that he made a mistake,
Yeah.
and that should be like a very higher rate. Whatever is quoted, that is very less.
So of course, then when you submit such documents, you will be reviewing and you will be doing a due diligence. And when you understand that, because you're going to present to the top management, yeah, then you have
Yeah.
to prove it also. Yeah, top management. So this guy's made a mistake, and we get a benefit out of it. So it's reasonable to pay this amount. Normally, what we do, we prepare a business case. We will do all the homework. We will do all the workout, all substantiation, and we will prepare a business case and present for the approval. It's a big amount of money, we cannot just pay, right? And when so in that cases, as you said, Happy Sharma, you will be showing like, yeah, we reviewed the documents and this is the normal rate, but these people praised very low item, so it's reasonable, or it should be a goodwill, we can pay this amount of money. Okay.
Yeah, and one more thing, sir, that we can say that it is our team mistake also. During the tender analysis, we should arrange that issue, or we should intimate to the contractor that you have quoted very low rate. You need to check it during the
but
tendering.
but one thing is that, Happy, before we pointing fingers on us, okay, so what we do, I say yes, that item was lowest, and but there is, if a lump sum contract, what he will do, his pricing strategy, maybe he will front load item, he will back load items, maybe he will load this to some other item, that also the right.
Yeah,
Fr-
sir, during the tender, if we feel that the tenderer quoted the item at very low cost, we
yeah.
can check with him, na sir?
No, what for if some, so I will say an example. Sometimes we will be doing rate analysis. We will be reviewing each and every items. Okay, some rate, other scenario. He will be charging very high rate. Okay, and when you highlight those items to him, he would say, "This is my pricing strategy. Dear client, you going to pay me the lump sum figure, bottom line figure only. So why you worrying about that? You have a lump sum contract. Your specification is ready. Drawing is ready. It's a lump sum contract. I took risk of quantity. This is my pricing strategy. I don't want to change it. I'm talking an example, opposite direction. So better, you cannot always comment on the prices. Yes, you agree with you. When you find an abnormality in pricing, we should have picked in that stage itself. But there could be a issue of the pricing strategy also.
Okay.
Okay, I'm putting something in the chat box that will give you an indication or an idea about clauses that give you time only, cost only, profit, everything. This is from the FIDIC only, FIDIC 99. Okay, from clause number 1.9, delayed drawing and insertion, you will get time, cost, and profit. Some unforeseeable physical condition, happy. Clause
Yes,
number 4.12. Okay, you will get time and cost, but no profit because that is beyond your control and his control, right? You are
yes,
when you doing excavation, you observe some asbestos or you observe some skeletons. That's not your control or his control. If you find a skeleton and all, it's a case. Straight away, police will come and work will be stopped. Everything will be there. So what he do? He will give you time and cost also because why? The contractor going to suffer some time for it, but he will not give you a profit. Clear?
correct.
And if you look at clause 8.4 and 8.5, you will get only time because cost will be addressed separately. 8.4 is talk about only the extension of time. Okay? We will
Correct.
be explaining this in detail, Happy. Don't worry. I send you because you asked. That's the reason I send you. Okay?
Okay. Okay. Okay.
Clear, right? You can just take a reference of that. That'll give you a bird eye vision, like which straight give you time, cost, and things.
Okay.
Okay. And Ganesh asked me a question. What is variation is a claim? Ganesh, the variation is not a claim actually. Okay. Variation is defined in the clause number 13.1 of the FIDIC. Okay. Maybe you can refer to our second session of the video which we did on variation. Claim is what? It's the entitlement for cost, time, or a discharge or relief. But variation is something. How many of you attended my first session on variation? Can somebody tell me what's variation? Happy you were there, right?
Yes, sir.
Can you tell me what is variation?
Uh, we can define variation as change to the contract scope,
Yep.
basically.
Okay.
If there is any addition to the quantities, if there is any omission to the scope, if there is any change in the levels, if there is
Exactly.
change in
Thank
the
you.
sequence of activities,
So that is
if they
variation.
if there is
Thank.
any change in the specification of the items,
Yes. Yes. Thank you, Happy.
that
Thank
is
you very
actually
much.
the variation.
Yeah.
And when we talk about the claims, claim is about for those situations which are not attributable by one party, but it may be attributable by the other party.
Right. So that is Ganesh. Hope is clear to you. Variation is not a claim. Ahmed Musa mentioned leads to claims. Variation leads to claims. Okay, that means variation should be a reason for EOT. That means there is significant change in quantity, like say, or variation. You include a very significant scope, then it will lead to a claim, say EOT claims, or a variation which a contractor need to add more resources. He need to add more plans, more equipments, more engineering staff, more supervision, or a porta cabin, then also it will go to a claims. Okay, or else variation is not a claim. Ahmed Musa asked global claims under which section. So Ahmed Musa, the global claim is not in any of the standard form of contract. Be it a FIDIC, be it JCD, be it NEC, you will not be able to see a term called global claim. But if you open SCL protocol, that's the delay and disruption protocol, because normally for delay and EOT everything we will refer something called SCL protocol. Okay, your planning engineers or a commercial engineers or managers, they will prepare claims based on the SCL protocols. So in SCL protocol it's mentioned the global claims, not in the contracts. Okay, I would give you a snippet from that for just for your reference. One second. Like, give me a second, guys. I'm just taking a snippet from the protocols. So I just put a snippet from the SCL protocol, which define global claims and all. Okay. So the next question, disruption and loss of productivity are same. Loss of productivity always tie up to disruption. Okay. The main buzzword for the disruption claim, there should be a loss of productivity. You should be able to explain the team. Say if you are a contractor, if you're submitting a loss of productivity issue, you should be able to explain him that loss in productivity. We will be explaining the method of loss of productivity in the upcoming parts. Okay, don't worry. And also cost claim under the, what is the question? uh, I cannot understand the question. And also, cost claims are under loss and expense is a big term actually. It's a very high level term which all fall under that. Okay. Next session we will be explaining like what all will come under loss and expenses. The main concept is that there should be a loss and there should be additional expense also. That's the main intent of that. Okay. Can we calculate it? For sure, we have formula to calculate that. Mainly, like this will be doing by a planning department. They will be explaining the what is there is some method called measured mile method, standard productivity method, expert opinion method. Some many methods are there to calculate the productivity issue, and based on that only it will be explained. Binsha, if the delay is caused by the contractor and to avoid LD, contractor has increased resources. So in that case, it's an acceleration claim. Okay, it's called acceleration for sure. For sure, as a client, he will not be paying. But for you, it's a claim because you're going to incur a new cost. You will not be submitting this claim to the client. Okay, Binsha. It's a claim in sense there is acceleration which going to incur a new cost for you. Okay.
Okay.
But in other way around, if it's by the employer, then that's the proper claim for you. You will have to submit the substantiation based on the labor histogram. So guys, why we are asking the cash flow forecast
In
and
400
labor
meters,
histogram
turn
in
right.
the beginning of the project is because of that. Okay. So can I ask you how, if you are a post-contract QS, how many of you are asking for the cash flow forecast and resource histogram in the very beginning stage? How many of you asked? If you're a consultant, by the way, if you're a contractor, you can ignore this question. But if you're a consultant, how many of you asked for the cash flow forecast and the resource histogram? This is the reason actually. Because if you have resource histogram, this is acceleration, you can prove the acceleration. Any other question, guys?
Can I ask a question regarding variations?
Hussein, yes.
Yes. Uh, If there is a BOQ line item for suppose fan coil unit,
What the item?
fan coil unit,
Fan call unit, FCU.
FCU.
Okay.
Uh, for that particular item, a particular for suppose 1000 dirhams is specified over in the BOQ.
Okay.
And the same line item in further changes for suppose variation is there means the quantity is increased absorbed gently. For suppose the line item has quantity of 10 numbers, but in the future it has been increased to 100 numbers.
Okay.
So how to look as a contractor and engineer perspective? So should we issue the contractor should claim the same amount what is there in the BOQ? How about the engineer? They should pay. They will pay with the same BOQ
What
rate.
is your opinion?
My opinion, because if it is a lump sum
Hmm.
or remeasurable, it may change both. But exactly, I don't know. That's what I want to know from you.
Any other want to answer this question, guys? I'll come to you, Zain. 1 second. Let me hear my others also. Anybody want to attend this question?
It, I think it will be based on the BOQ amount
Why?
because we already submitted for the same, like the same amount for the same item. So it will be, I think so it will be based on the, if it is remeasure, it will be based on the BOQ item. But if lump sum also, I feel it is.
Any clauses in the contract, Maisa?
I am not sure.
Okay, no worries. Anybody else? Anybody else want to try? Okay, so Hussein, come to your point. If there is a Amrita, you want to try?
Yeah, I feel like that there's a provision in the contract that if there's an increase in percentage, more than 10% of the quantity, and if the contractor feels that this amount is not sufficient, he can ask for a rate increase.
Change in rate, yes. That's for lump sum or remeasure?
For lump sum.
Lump
For both,
sum
I think.
also?
I feel so because there's a provision in the FIDIC.
Provision in the FIDIC. FIDIC is for lump sum or remeasure?
Lump sum, but still, when there is an increase in the quantity for more than 10% of the contract value.
Okay, go ahead, please. I'm listening.
As
I feel so.
Okay.
It's my understanding. I
Yeah,
don't know
yeah,
whether
for
it is
sure, sure. Without discounting your understanding, for sure, sure. There is actually, yeah.
my, my information, as per FEDIC Red Book 99, subclause 12.1, I think, in case of we have change in quantities more than
Yeah.
10%. There is
Not 10 actually, there is three condition actually. 10% that should change the contract price
yes,
into 20%
yes.
total value.
What I know, we have 2 points A and B. Under
Yeah.
A, there is 4 conditions or 3 conditions shall be met together in order to change the rate. And this the first one, change in quantities by 10%, and also there's a change equal to our more than
Total
point zero
1% of
.01
the
from a contract accepted contract amount, and the third one, this is the changes in a fixed rate items, I think.
exactly, yeah. That's the main thing. It should not be a fixed rate item. Okay.
Yeah.
Hussein, I hope you have an answer. Hi, Hussein.
Yeah, okay. Thank you.
But can I add you one more point over here?
Yeah, please.
Just so FIDIC 99 is for not for the lump sum contract actually.
Yeah,
The
it is for
original
remeasurable.
99 is not for the lump sum contract. It's purely for the remeasure contract. Okay. That is the reason they include this clause of change in rate. Okay. Because you send him a drawing, you take a measurement, and he include a rate. But when the items significantly go high, the rate has to change. Why? Because higher quantity, lesser rate. lesser quantity, higher rate. That is the principle. Okay. So to cover that risk, we include in FIDIC a provision to change the unit rate when the quantity significantly increased. But most,
I,
if you are lump sum contract, the first thing you should do is when prepare the contract, delete that clause from your contract in particular condition. Make sure that clause is not applicable in your lump sum contract. That's the first thing you should do. Okay, so imagine a scenario that clauses which Amrita and Musa explained was not in the FIDIC. Now what we can do, Hussein?
I have no idea. I have to gain
Okay,
overview from you.
okay, Maisa, do you have any idea for that?
No.
So in the FIDIC, again, I'm going back to clause number 12, okay? 12 is talking about the measurement. Clause number 12 is mentioned when to, excuse me, it is stated how to apply rates for the variation. So it's mentioned up to extent possible, we have to go for the BOQ rate. If not BOQ rate applicable, we have to go to similar items, which means pro rata. If that also not possible, we have to go for a star
first
rate.
principle.
Yeah, first principle,
First
exactly.
principle, right?
Yeah, first principle. So this is clearly stated in the contract, Hussein. So if the clauses which is giving rise to increase the rate is not in the contract, you have to clause 12 number 3, I'm not remember exact clause number, is mentioned what rates you have to apply. BOQ rate, pro rata or the star rate. Okay. But
Sometimes
Hussein,
they are
yeah.
using.
Yes, Musa.
Sometimes they are using. They work schedules for also for variations, right?
Day rate schedule, right?
Yes.
It's a very risky thing to use a day rate schedule.
Yeah, but
But for
sometimes
easy way we using it, but I would say it's very risky to use. I mean, it shouldn't be encouraged that way of using day rates.
yes,
Okay.
but I have also a question related to same point. In a lump sum contract, sometimes rates uh, become inapplicable and it needs to be changed. Is there any mechanism to handle these situations?
A rates inapplicability will come, is complete nature and type of the work changing. Even it's a same example, even if the FCU, but the execution method mechanism, connection mechanism completely change, then only we can go for the change rate is not applicable mechanism. And very difficult to prove also. You just imagine, I can put a different example. You are supposed to say HU or FH units, okay, but you changing system completely. Still is called a AHU only. System completely. The installation mechanism is different. The connection is different. Wiring is different. That cases only the rate applicable, not applicability will step in. Or else, if type and nature is same, you have to use the BOQ rate.
Okay, one more thing
Hussein, I
in
want
the
to ask
flow.
you something more. I forgot
Yeah,
actually. Anyways,
yeah.
go ahead.
One more thing in addition to that one. For suppose just you said that one. For suppose we have a split AC units where the indoor unit and outdoor unit will be there. So one unit has the two sections.
Yeah.
For suppose the client changes the outdoor unit, I want a inverter type. So the indoor unit remains same and the outdoor unit is changed.
Yeah.
So as per my contract, if it is a lump sum contract or a remeasurable contract, the indoor unit and outdoor unit I have placed as per the standard units. But
Yeah.
after signing the contract, the client has changed the outdoor unit to the inverter type.
Yeah.
So I need to change only the outdoor unit in my price. So how to go about that one? How
Okay.
a
So
engineer will
in these
see, how
cases,
a contractor see.
so two elements, Hussein. First element is your material that you can take easily. You have an outdoor unit is changing to some XM, something else which you can take apple to apple, right?
Yeah, but the
You're with
price in the
me?
BOQ, yeah,
No,
yeah,
no, no. First, let me tell you, it has two elements, right? Material and labor,
yes.
and that too only for the outdoor unit. Indoor unit remains same as it is.
Yeah.
Okay. So what you can do? You can put a star rate for, because in this case, material is changing and installation changing completely. You can go for a new rate.
But what my yes, for suppose a totally this line item of this split AC is deleted, so I can go for a new rate for the new
It's in the contract.
split AC.
It's in the contract.
Uh, no,
If in the contract, yes. But FIDIC won't allow that. FIDIC always
no,
emphasize on the remeasure.
it is not in the contract.
No, if it's in the contract, yes, no problem. You can go for that. But as per FIDIC, they're not mentioning. The measurement of variation is not as per the BOQ item. It's always remeasure. Because in the
Okay.
BOQ, you are 10 line items, but in drawing 20 line items, you have to install, right?
Yeah. So I need to omit that BQ line item. Then I have to prepare a star rate. Then I have to follow that
Yeah,
star rate.
if
Correct?
purely Hussein, like if what's your contract says, you can follow that. You cannot,
Okay.
we cannot generalize and put that things.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, Hussein. Yep. When you're asking, I had something in mind. I forgot anyway. Okay, guys. Any other doubt? If no doubt, we can wrap the session, and maybe most probably next week we can, not next week, sorry, we are starting our MRICS session by coming Monday. So a week after we will meet again, and we will be explaining the in details of claims. Okay. Thank you, guys. Good
Can,
night.
can you share us the calendar for RICS program, please?
What, Ahmed? What do you want?
Calendar for RICS program.
Our RSS program.
Yes, yes.
Could you please ping me separately, Musa? I can send you across.
Okay, okay, thank
Yeah.
you.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Good night, team. Thank you very much for your participation, and it's a really interactive session. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.